In the stillness before the verdict, Leroy Whitaker Sr. sat in a Jacksonville courtroom, his heart heavy with dread. The air was thick with anticipation, every tick of the clock echoing the uncertainty that filled the room. For Leroy Sr., this was not just another day in court. It was the culmination of sleepless nights, anxious prayers, and the hope that somehow his son would be spared the harshest fate. This was the day his son, Leroy Whitaker Jr., would learn his fate, a moment that would change their family forever. The weight of the moment pressed down on everyone, but for a father it was almost unbearable. He clung to memories of his son's childhood, the laughter and milestones, all now overshadowed by the uncertainty of what lay ahead. Mr. Whitaker wasn't just a spectator, he was a father, his presence a silent promise of unwavering support. Every glance, every sigh was a message to his son. You are not alone. In a room full of strangers, his love was a quiet but powerful force, a reminder that family endures even in the darkest times. For weeks, he'd endured the trial, listening to strangers dissect his son's life, each word deepening his burden. The testimony, the evidence, the arguments, each detail was a fresh wound, but he remained steadfast and resolute, determined to be there for his son no matter what. He watched his son, only 24, sit at the defendant's table, his future hanging by a thread. The sight was almost surreal, a young man with so much life ahead, now facing the possibility of losing it all. For a father, the pain of watching your child in such a position is indescribable. Through it all, Mr. Whitaker remained a steady anchor, representing the love and memories the court could never see. He offered comfort in small gestures, a reassuring touch, a steady gaze, reminding his son of the strength they shared as a family. No parent is prepared to see their child accused of a crime that could mean life in prison. The fear, the shame, the helplessness, it all threatened to overwhelm him, but his love for his son was stronger than any fear. The courtroom's cold formality was a stark contrast to the warmth of family, but it was here that a father's love faced its greatest test. The sterile walls and rigid procedures could not erase the years of connection, nor could they diminish the hope that somehow justice and mercy might prevail. The story of Leroy Whitaker Sr. and his son is not just a headline. It's a testament to love and resilience in the face of unimaginable adversity. Their journey is a reminder that behind every case are families holding on to hope, even when the world seems determined to take it away. Behind every legal case are real people, struggling to find a way forward when their world collapses. The pain is real, the stakes are high, and the bonds of family are often the only thing that can carry them through. Mr. Whitaker's journey is a powerful exploration of what it means to be a father when your child needs you most. It is about standing tall in the face of judgment, about loving without condition, and about never giving up hope, even when the odds seem insurmountable. Even as the world rendered its judgment, his bond with his son remained unbreakable. Through every tear and every setback, that connection endured, a lifeline in the storm. In that courtroom, love was put to the ultimate test and endured. The Whitaker family story is a powerful reminder that even in our darkest hours, the strength of a parent's love can light the way forward. When the jury foreman said guilty, the word hit Leroy Whitaker Sr. like a physical blow. He later described it as needing an oxygen tank. He couldn't breathe. The shock was that intense. I feel like I got hit by a fire truck, ran over, and then it backed up and hit me again, he said, capturing the crushing pain. This wasn't just a legal verdict, it was a father's heart breaking in real time. The courtroom, once filled with tense hope, became a chamber of sorrow. For Mr. Whitaker, the world changed in an instant, replaced by a new, uncertain, and heartbreaking reality. His reaction was pure, primal shock, a testament to the deep connection between parent and child. The guilty verdict was a weight he now carried alongside his son. In that moment, the pain was shared and the future forever altered. After the verdict was read aloud, chaos erupted in the courtroom. The air was thick with tension. Shouts, sobs, and the shuffling of feet echoed off the walls. Some people wept openly, others sat in stunned silence, and a few exchanged angry words. The judge's gavel could barely be heard above the noise as the reality of the decision settled over everyone present. Yet, amid the uproar, a quiet, powerful moment passed between father and son, a moment that seemed to exist outside of time, untouched by the chaos swirling around them. Leroy Whitaker Jr., now convicted and facing an uncertain future, scanned the crowded gallery. His eyes searched desperately, moving past strangers and familiar faces alike, until finally he found his father's steady gaze. In that single glance, a lifetime of questions, regrets, and fears passed silently between them. It was as if they were speaking without words, sharing a conversation only they could understand. Leroy Sr. met his son's searching eyes and, despite the heartbreak etched across his own face, managed to offer a small thumbs up and a forced, trembling smile. It was a gesture that tried to mask his pain, but also radiated strength and reassurance. That simple gesture spoke volumes, more than words ever could. It said, "I'm still here. I still love you. No matter what happens next, we'll face this together." In that moment, the bond between them was unbreakable. That silent exchange became a lifeline, a father's unspoken promise that even prison walls could not break the connection they shared. It was a thread of hope stretched across the gulf of loss and uncertainty. For a son facing a lifetime behind bars, that gesture was a flicker of hope in the darkness, a reminder that he was not alone, even as the world seemed to turn its back. To his father, Leroy Jr. was not just guilty, he was still his child, deserving of love and compassion, no matter the verdict. The moment was a declaration of unconditional love, a testament to the strength of family, even in the face of tragedy and public scrutiny. While the rest of the court focused on justice, punishment, and the letter of the law, Leroy Sr. focused on connection, on being present for his son when it mattered most. His role as a father did not end with the verdict. If anything, it became more important than ever, as he stood by his child in the face of overwhelming adversity. In that crowded, noisy courtroom, love endured where hope seemed lost. The family's resilience shone through, a quiet defiance against despair. That silent exchange was a rare moment of grace, a reminder that even in our darkest hours, the bonds of family can offer light and strength. To understand the verdict's weight, you must understand the crime. Leroy Whitaker Jr. and his cousin, rapper Hakeem Ksoo Robinson, were found guilty of murdering Charles "Lil Buck" McCormick Jr. in broad daylight. The case drew national attention, rooted in Jacksonville's violent drill rap scene and real-life gang rivalries. Prosecutors said the motive was retaliation for a diss track aimed at the memory of a slain relative. The murder was a deadly escalation in a war of words that spilled into the streets. The trial became a focal point for discussions about music, social media, and gang violence. For the community, it was more than a legal case. It was a painful look at cycles of violence claiming young lives. The verdict was seen as a step toward accountability in a tragedy that reflected deeper community wounds. The prosecution's case relied on key witness testimony and a mountain of evidence. Dominique "Butta" Barner, the admitted getaway driver, testified against his former friends in exchange for a plea deal. He named Hakeem Robinson as the shooter and implicated Whitaker Jr. in the cover-up. The most dramatic testimony came from Hakeem's own father, Abdul Robinson Sr., who identified his son in surveillance footage. The prosecution also presented surveillance video, cell phone records, and social media posts referencing the crime. A song by Hakeem, "Ksoo Homicide," was argued to be a musical confession. Recovered weapons and a stolen car tied the defendants to the scene. This web of evidence proved persuasive to the jury. The defense faced an overwhelming challenge. Their main strategy was to attack the credibility of Barner and Abdul Robinson Sr., arguing both had cut deals to save themselves. They urged the jury not to trust co-conspirators motivated by self-interest. The defense also pointed to witness descriptions of the shooter's height, suggesting a mismatch with Hakeem Robinson. Despite these efforts, the prosecution's evidence was too strong. The jury for Whitaker Jr. deliberated less than 2 hours before finding him guilty. The defense's arguments could not overcome the state's case. In the aftermath of the verdict, one emotion rose above all for Leroy Whitaker Sr., unconditional love. The weight of the courtroom's decision pressed heavily on his shoulders, but it could not shake the foundation of his devotion as a father. In that moment, he found clarity in his purpose, determined to stand by his son no matter what the world might say. He made it clear that despite the outcome, his role as a father remained unchanged. The bond between parent and child, he believed, was not something that could be severed by a judge's gavel or a jury's decision. Instead, it was a promise renewed in the face of adversity. "We love him, And we're going to continue to love him, Mr. Whitaker declared, his voice steady with conviction. The family gathered close, drawing strength from one another, their embrace a silent vow to weather the storm together. His words affirmed a bond that transcends legal outcomes, a connection built on years of shared memories, struggles, and hope. In that moment, love became their anchor. He vowed to be a constant presence in his son's life, even from behind prison walls. The setting might change, but his commitment would not falter. He would visit, write letters, and remind his son that he was never truly alone. "I'm not giving up on him," he said, preparing for a new, difficult journey. Each visit to the prison would be a testament to his resolve, a reminder that love endures even in the harshest places. Leroy Jr. would not face the future alone. His family's support would be his strength. Together, they would navigate the challenges ahead, holding on to hope in each other. "He's not just going to be someone in prison by himself. I'm there with him," Mr. Whitaker promised. Every phone call, every visit would be a lifeline, a reminder that love could reach through any barrier. This was a vow to remain a father in every sense, offering love, guidance, and hope, even when the world seemed unforgiving. He would continue to guide his son, helping him find meaning and purpose, no matter the circumstances. While the court assigned guilt, Mr. Whitaker's job was to provide love. The legal system could judge, but only a parent could offer the kind of support that heals and uplifts. In the quiet moments at home, the family would light a candle for Leroy Jr., sending their love across the miles, believing in his ability to grow and change. His reaction reminds us that people are more than their convictions. Redemption, forgiveness, and love are always possible, even after the darkest days. For a parent, a child is always worthy of love, even after terrible mistakes. That love becomes a guiding light, showing the way forward when all seems lost. Mr. Whitaker's words are a testament to the enduring power of family. Through every trial, their unity would be their greatest strength. A guilty verdict would not be the final word on his son's life. For the Whitaker family, love would always have the last say, lighting the path toward hope and healing. At the heart of this case is another family, the family of Charles "Lil Buck" McCormick Jr., who suffered an irreversible loss. They sat through the same trial, enduring every painful detail. After the verdict, they chose silence, declining to speak to the media. Their quiet dignity spoke volumes, honoring their loved one's memory in private. Their loss was not a spectacle, but a deeply personal tragedy. The legal system provided closure, but not healing. Their silent grief is a testament to the enduring pain violence leaves behind. As headlines fade, the families at the center of this tragedy face a long, difficult road. For Leroy Whitaker Sr., that road is defined by unwavering support for his son. His story is a testament to hope, not for reversal, but for purpose and connection, even behind bars. Family becomes the last line of defense against despair. Mr. Whitaker's refusal to give up shows the resilience of parental love. The Whitakers must live with conviction and separation, the McCormicks with loss. Yet both families show the strength of the human spirit. There are no easy answers, only flawed people, tragic choices, and lasting consequences. Through it all, a father's love endures, offering light in the darkness. Even when a prison sentence begins, love remains unbroken, guiding the way forward.